Hello, the Gentleman Gamer here, and today I'm playing EVE Online, and I'm coming back from a bit of a break, but just in time to finish up the Guardians Gala, which is CCP's Valentine's Day event. Let's jump into the agency and get the details. So Guardians Gala event ends in 4 days and 6 hours, so about 4 days and change, we'll say. And you see I got up to almost the second reward. The first reward was kind of lackluster, because you already get fireworks in the event site itself. The second one is a bit better. You get less of these, but they're still pretty common. I think they get 12 points for each attribute, and the duration is pretty standard. I think it's about 44 hours for my skills, 48 if you have the 5. So not bad for a second reward. These two seem more interesting. This is actually a stasis weblifier implant that increases range by 5%. I'm assuming it's a new implant. I never heard of it before. I think Eros is God of Love, I think anyway. That might go for a good bit of money. So I want to get up to here, but this seems obviously go for a lot of money as well. This is Serpentis Inquest Drip Feed Accelerator. Now the actual attribute points are actually lower than the advanced, but you look by the duration here, it's a lot higher. So this will last roughly double, I think, if I remember properly. So if you put this in like the day before they expire, you can have a lot longer acceleration and training. So I'm not sure if I think I can make it the 700 points in 4 days, but I'm not sure if I would sell it or use it. So I haven't decided that yet. But there's only 2 ways to get points for the event. I know some of the events, they had like mining ones, some other unrelated things that go with the event, but this one is pretty much site related. You have defeat any guest at the Guardians Gala site, and that gives you so many points. I'm 6 away from getting 10, which will bring me to the second one. So this is the most common way of getting the rewards, but you also get one for clearing the site completely. So if you defeat the battle cruiser, or larger guests. The battlecruiser is most common, but there's also a chance for a Macarial, a battleship, and I also never seen it, but I've heard people saying a carrier drops in Null. I would assume wormhole space, but I'm not sure. I think they're different sites though. I think they're like VIP sites in nullsec. So, but again, very interesting. The site itself is a little difficult if you're not prepared. When the actual event launched, people were complaining that it was a really hard site. So I went with my Legion. This is the same Legion I used for the Drifter event we had a few months ago. So I just went for the worst pop situation. And the site isn't that hard. In the Drifter site, they even had warp disruption, so you couldn't warp away. This you can warp at any time, but it is difficult. Let's just start warping and we'll take a look at it. Alright, the whole site seems to be geared around making you a perfect target for artillery, because all the cruisers and the battle cruisers and the Macarial all are artillery fit. So there's tons of, like, almost endless waves of frigates that will come into the site and web you, and then the cruisers will target ping you. So even the large artillery from the Macarial will hit you like full damage every single time. So I'm assuming that's why people got a bit antsy when they realized that even their VNIs or jackdaws couldn't speed tank this site. Let's start with the cruisers. I still don't know the triggers for this site, but part of me thinks if I just hit all the cruisers, this will work out. I'm just going to follow this. You can see here, all these frigates here are webbing me, and more come in. And I have not seen a limit to how many come in here, so I'm not sure it's a set number or not, but I think at least 3 web you at all times. But we'll work on the cruisers first. Alright, I'm not sure if I need to actually target paint the cruisers or not, but why not? I have them on the ship. Can we target this guy? Yes, target this guy. We'll target a frigate or 2 as well, just in case we get in a situation where there's no more cruisers on grid. I've had a couple situations where I had like 10 frigates on me and like no cruisers to show up, so I started taking those down instead. Alright, next one. we'll keep approaching them, I guess. Now the cruisers will immediately start to kite you, like they start pulling range, and now it goes for the battle cruiser as well. The frigates will stay on you, well, unless you have, unless you pull out some drones, and then they'll attack the drones. They hate drones. Matter of fact, I'll show you. Once I clear this guy, I'm going to stick my drones on this, and you'll see how they change aggro. Okay, let's point to this guy. Start taking him out. And we'll pull out the Warrior 2s. We're going to send them over. Let's see what they do real quick. Oh, not those guys. Wait till the drones are going out now. Target this guy in the meantime. And you'll see. You'll start them dropping aggro soon. Well, they should anyway. Oh, there's one. One dropped aggro. My drones went this way. Oh, they're gonna. Oh, there you go. Never mind. We're good. We're good. And the longer the drones stay on grid, the more of these frigates will take the aggro off you and switch. But it's also a good way if you're struggling with tank. If you use your drones as a diversion, they'll take some of the heat. Oh, that's a lot of frigates though. Oh god, let's pull these guys in. They're gonna run into trouble here. Let's look here. Now to have all these frigates here now, instead of and have no cruisers to actually target. So let's just take those guys out. Alright. Fire, fire. And I actually don't know the trigger for this. I know all these frigates are on grid. So they're all named the same. So I'm not sure if a specific number has to be on grid before more cruisers show up. I have seen no rhyme or reason to the... Alright! That's my last 10 points there. But I have not seen any rhyme or reason to the spawning. But you see that the tank and tank and Legion obviously fine. I have it cap stable, so the repper's always on. And the signature on these frigates aren't too small. Even the heavy missiles can hit them. The Fairy missile had a little problem hitting them all the way, but with the target painters and the regular missiles do fine. But they just keep coming in. The frigates just keep coming in. They want to make sure you're webbed. I have all these guys are webbing right now, so speed tanking is just not an option in this site. Alrighty. Okay, let's approach this guy. If it lets me. There we go. Let's approach him. We will target paint again. And I'll throw my drones back out. We'll see how many of these drones, many of these frigates will chase. 3 changed aggro very quickly. But it's 29 came away, so they'll have to peel off 29 then come back. Let's pull them in as soon as he's done with that target, though. Right, let's pull them back in now, because 3 will actually tear through my Warrior 2s, though. Let's focus on these guys again. It is a useful little trick if you get enough of them to pull away, because they don't do a lot of DPS, but they do enough, especially if I actually haven't seen any buffer tank fits that actually worked in this set yet. I know people are using Gilas or Helas, people say, but I'm assuming it's active temp, because these guys really they're like more frigates. See, 4 more frigates. I have no idea how the AI works in this site, other than it's the webbing, pretty much getting you ready to get hit with artillery. Other than that, I have no idea about the actual triggers and spawns. Let's see here. They don't do enough damage to break through the tank on their own, though. The battlecruiser NPCs and the Macarial, they do quite a bit of damage, though. And if you're not prepared, or if you're buffer fit, they do cause so much damage. It's very scary. I've seen some people have to panic warp out when their very expensive ship gets down to like a 3rd shield from the Macarial, one-shotting them. Alright, let's keep moving here. Still no cruisers, so I'm here destroying frigates, which is good for the event because you can burn through your objectives here quicker. But I've been in this site for sometimes a lot longer than I thought I would, because just the frigates keep spawning, warping in, and not the cruisers or the NPC battlecruiser with the loot. just be prepared for that. But these guys will just chip away at your buffer tank if you're buffer fit. Or if you're just I know some people use their teeth 3Ds, like the Jackdaw, and they're having tons of problems with that because you can't speed tank with these guys webbing you. And we do have this is the battlecruiser. Let's start taking them out. You'll see an uptick in damage when he. Yeah, now you can see the damage come in, but it's nowhere near the amount they need to actually take down the Legion. So we'll do a slow approach to him. So we'll pull the drones out to help with this. Alrighty, go go go. We'll see if the AI catches up this time. A lot more frigates. Oh man. Oh, they actually warped closer to the battlecruiser last time. Okay. So far, none of them have peeled off. Oh, these guys might though. Yeah, these guys are coming over. See? Yeah, they warped in just for my drones. They warped in just to destroy my drones. Look at that. The AI for this site, it's not quite burner mission level of AI, but it's somewhere in between a regular NPC and one of the burner NPCs, because they do change strategies depending on what you're doing. So it's very interesting. And again, as soon as you take out the battlecruiser, they all spawn. They all go away. Like they all leave. Like the Gala's over, guys. They killed the boss and they all bug out. It's kind of interesting. So let's take a look at. Do I have Rex saved on here anywhere? I don't think I do. Or not? I don't know how that's showing it. Maybe. Can I click it here? Yeah, okay, that way. Approach. While that's approaching, let's take a look at the fit. I did have to modify it slightly compared to my Drifter one. The Drifter one was more Omni-Tank. This one I had to specialize more for the Serpentis damage types. So for the top, I went at first I went heavy assault missiles, but as you saw, the cruisers, battlecruiser, and the Mercurial will immediately pull range on you, and they can get pretty far away from you when all the frigates are webbing you down. So the range was not enough on the hand missiles, so I went heavy missiles instead. I've been using the regular Nova because I've been going through so much. I started with faction, but then that got really expensive, so I went with regular. And the regular and the faction missiles hit not hit, but they apply damage better to the frigates. So I stuck with those. I have a large compact battery to keep everything cap stable. I have a 10mm afterburner. I have all this extra power grid down here, and I was thinking maybe I could put in a 100mm afterburner, but then it just wasn't enough, so I had to put a fitting rigs in here, and I figured the 10 is enough for what I need to do, so I left it in there. And I really couldn't think of anything else to put in here, so I just put in 2 target painters to make the SIGs on the frigates bigger. I have a medium armor rep, a damage control 2, I have the faction resist mods here, 2 ballistic controls for DPS, and I have just auxiliary nano pumps and an anti-explosive pump, just for the pump up these 2 numbers a little more. For the subsystems, I have wake limiter, assault optimization, which is the missile drone subsystem, nanobot injector for the increased repair rate, and antimatter reactor. So the fit works pretty good. I could probably optimize it a bit more, but it works pretty well. I don't feel like fiddling with it more than I have to. But let's take a look at the actual wreck. So right here, we have a Caracal skin and this. Do I have the Caracal skin? I'm not sure. I don't have the Caracal skin. Oh, nice. Now that's what I like to see. Oh, they got a lot for the Caracal now. What's this? Oh, that's nice. I wonder how we get these. Do I buy these? Oh, you can buy them off the store now. Cool. But that is a nice skin. Very nice. It looks like they're different than the other ones, though. Like more chrome than last time. That's good. Let's activate that. Oop, nope. Get out of the way. Activate skin license. Very good. But that is the site, guys. I'm hoping I can get to 700 before the event's over, but I'm not sure if I'm willing to grind that much. But that's the video. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked the video, of course, leave a like. If you like the content, of course, subscribe, and fly safe and fly brave.